Welcome to Highbury TV. I'm your host, MC. I'm with my co-host, Smokey. We just wrapped up the Brighton game, 1-1 at the Emirates. Poor game. I thought we were going to get 3 points here, man. Smokey, what did you think about this game, man?
I thought it was a poor performance. I thought it was just a poor game all around, even as a neutral. I thought it was a pretty poor game. Arsenal performance was poor. The referee was poor. That's a whole other thing. I mean, whatever. But yeah, I just say we were poor. That's pretty much all I can say.
Yeah, I think like the referee, I think the yellow card and the red card eventually for Declan Rice, 2 yellows, that kind of like turned the game for us. That's when everything kind of went sour. What did you think about that whole, whatever happened there, and then our pretty much collapse after that red card?
Oh yeah, it wasn't our day to begin with, but it seems like we completely fell apart after the red, which, I mean, it happens. You can't like predict how a team is going to respond to a red card. But yeah, it was just poor. Like off the get go, we watched the game together. And I told you, I was like, wow, this reminds me of the Aston Villa game that we lost, and it looked like it. It started like it, and sure enough, it kind of just seemed like that kind of game. It wasn't our day. Anything we did, we should have been up probably 4-0 in the first 10 minutes, 12 minutes of the game. Saka probably could have had a hat trick. It just seemed like we never woke up on the day, and the result is what it is. I think everybody saw we were actually lucky to get away with the 1-1.
Yeah, nah, you're definitely right about that. Saka had like 3-4 clear-cut chances first 10 minutes, and we thought like, hey, like we got to put this away. And then like you said, yeah, it was like the Villa game that we lost last year when we had those chances, we didn't take them, and boom. But we score our goal before halftime. Havertz with another goal. Oh, Havertz scores again. So going into halftime confident, but at the same time, the game was dull. It was boring, and we weren't confident that we're gonna keep going. So that red card turned everything around. Brighton get the initial draw goal, and then what you think after that? Substitutions kind of questionable. We had I forgot who came in already.
Calafiori was the first sub, and it was literally just that sub was set up before they scored our goal,
that's right.
Before that stuff happened. So it just seemed that me and Mikel was a couple minutes too late with the sub. And yeah, I mean, the result was what it was. We had Rice and Partey going into the second half, both on yellows. And, we didn't adjust. Arteta didn't make any changes. Unfortunately, that the result is what it is.
Let's talk about Brighton's goal for a minute. I thought it was, like, Gabriel's really, really poor defending. Like, the ball came in, and he like, kind of put his foot out there. It looked lazy to me, and, like, it cost us the goal. And at that point, we both looked at each other like, oh, boy, here we go.
Yeah, no, Sunday League defending. I mean, that's something that, that's literally something you see in the Sunday League. A tackle that's really not a tackle. Then he kind of just looked around and looked for somebody to blame, but that was just poor defending. I felt he definitely could have done a lot better with that.
Yeah, no, I thought on the day he was, kind of a liability back there. The chances that they had, he wasn't really convincing, and that showed it. So 1-1, and then we make a couple substitutions. Calafiori comes in, Trossard comes off, questionable. Trossard actually gets a start over Martinelli, and we get to see Martinelli come in a little bit later on. So what did you think at the 1-1 point was ultimately the goal there? Was it to draw? Were we going for a win? Or was it ultimately just to not give up anything and hold down the fort and go away with 1 point to this international break?
Just looking at the game, it's actually difficult to say because, like I said, it seems that the Calafiori, which was a tactical substitution, we took out a Trossard for Calafiori. that was seemed to be a tactical substitution, but it also seemed that Mikel committed to that substitution before all that nonsense happened with the red card and all that.
Yeah, true.
So
Very unfortunate timing with that sub.
right, it just seemed that it seemed like a tactical substitution that Mikel wanted to go more defensive and hold down the 1-0 win, but then they scored the 1-1. To tie in while this all happened. So, I mean, it was just weird. It was difficult to say what we were doing. We had one or two chances after the red card, but the whole day was off. Usually when you have a off game like this one, you usually want to see one player step up and do something. We just didn't have that guy today.
So yeah, man, I think we're lucky to walk away with this 1 point. I think ultimately Brighton did have some chances at the end there to make it 2-1, and again, it's one of those games out of these three that were yes, we won them, but they weren't so convincing, and we've made some silly mistakes. And now we take the international break with 7 points, and after that we have the North London Derby away. So how confident are you going into that game? And noted, we don't have Declan Rice there as well.
Well, after yesterday's transfer deadline day, my confidence kind of went down a little bit as far as the whole season goes. So I'm not that confident, but again, I mean, I guess we trust Mikel and we go again against the Spurs.
Yeah, I think it's good to say that, after the transfer window, it's hard to be very, very optimistic as far as going forward. But, we're going to take this break, and hopefully everyone that we signed is going to be there available, except obviously Marino. He's out for a couple weeks, and hopefully Jesus might be back by then, so we'll have a little bit more depth there. Thanks everybody for watching Highbury TV. I'm your host MC. I'm with my boy Smokey. Please comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts about the game. Let us know your thoughts about the transfer market, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. Let's go Gunners.